All right, so if you were concerned with Oklahoma's recruiting class here in the 2026 cycle because of the recent 2 decommitments that Oklahoma got, then you're going to be ecstatic about Oklahoma's recent commitment from Bo Bentley, the 4-star quarterback out of Salina, Texas. So today we got to break down Bo Bentley's commitment to Oklahoma. We also have to talk about how we got here because I think it's important to acknowledge the decommitment that ultimately has led to Bo Bentley's commitment because we haven't talked about it. So before we do that, as always, I want to hear from y'all. Join the discussion. Jump in the comments below. Let me know what you guys are thinking about the recent commitment. I have 4.5 commits for the Champion Barbecue weekend. Let me know if you guys are taking the over or the under on that. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that like, hit the subscribe button so that you're not missing any recruiting content because we're going to try to keep you guys as up to date as possible on everything that's going on. We already have a couple of commitment videos pre-recorded. So if that tells you anything, you might want to take the over on the 4.5 number. But we'll start with Bo Bentley committing to the University of Oklahoma. The 6'2", 200-pound quarterback out of Salina, Texas, the number 94th ranked player in the 247 composite rankings, the number 10 quarterback in those composite rankings, and also is the number 78th player according to the 247 rankings and the number 7 quarterback. So obviously Bo Bentley is regarded by a lot of the insiders across the nation. But how did we get here with Bo Bentley's commitment? Because it's actually been a wild ride in terms of quarterback recruiting for Oklahoma in the past couple months. And it starts off with Ben Arbuckle coming to Oklahoma, right? Ben Arbuckle came to Oklahoma and almost immediately threw out an offer to Bo Bentley. And you kind of see why, right? When you go watch Bo Bentley's tape and you watch a lot of the comps that he's getting from insiders around the country, a lot of people want to compare him to John Mateer, who was Ben Arbuckle's quarterback at Washington State, who ended up transferring here to Oklahoma. So you see the appeal from Ben Arbuckle to want to go after a guy like Bo Bentley. However, during the same time that he threw out this offer to Bo, he had a quarterback already committed in this class. Now, although Jaden O'Neal was not Ben Arbuckle's guy, Ben Arbuckle originally inherited Jaden O'Neal. Jaden O'Neal committed to Seth Luttrell. Jaden O'Neal was a very good quarterback. And a lot of people, I think, would give him comps closer to like a Cam Ward, who was also a Ben Arbuckle quarterback. So this whole situation with quarterbacks over the past couple months has played out to be very intriguing and very drama-filled from the staff because we're kind of saying all the right things of, hey, we want to take 2 guys. Like, we want this to be a competitive room, but at the end of the day, from the O'Neal side, and I don't think I'm divulging into too much, Jaden just didn't feel the love from Ben Arbuckle, right? And I think you've seen it. You saw Bo Bentley's official visit pictures. He got a lot of love from the staff. And I don't think a lot of that was reciprocated towards Jaden. And so right now, for Jaden O'Neal, he's decommitted. You are probably looking at FSU being the destination for him. Will be probably a pretty good fit. I don't like how it was ultimately handled by the staff. But as an Oklahoma fan, I guess I'm excited. I'm excited that Oklahoma's got another commit. I'm excited they got a quarterback in the room. I wish it was the quarterback that was originally committed, though, because I still think Jaden O'Neal is going to be a great quarterback, going to have a great career. But the eyes are now set and focused on Bo Bentley. So, who is Bo Bentley? What is Oklahoma getting? Well, again, I told you guys, Oklahoma's getting a quarterback in kind of like what they already have in John Mateer, who you've heard really great things about coming out of spring and going into the summer. So, if John Mateer goes out there, wins a Heisman this year, ends up as a top draft pick in the NFL, whether that's in the first 3 rounds or whatever that looks like, not quite sure what his draft grades will potentially look like, then you're going to be happy with Bo Bentley because he's getting similar comps. Now, Bo Bentley racked up over 4,200 total yards on offense to go along with 63 touchdowns as a junior, going with a 16-0 record, winning a Texas State high school football championship. Now, didn't play against top-tier competition. I think it was in a 4A, if I remember correctly. But Bo Bentley, he's an athletic kid. Multi-sport athlete, soccer, lacrosse, Bo Bentley can do it all. Now, Bo Bentley had multiple trips here, right? So ultimately it came down to LSU and Oklahoma in the end. Georgia was originally in the mix. But, I mean, when you look at what Bo Bentley can bring to Oklahoma, 171 passing completions on 3,211 passing yards, 47 passing touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 124 rushing attempts, 923 rushing yards, 16 rushing touchdowns. He is a dual threat quarterback, which I think is what a lot of people want for Ben Arbuckle's system, because that's what they saw last year with John Mateer. Jaden O'Neal wasn't necessarily a dual threat quarterback, but a lot of people had a false narrative that he was basically a statue, and that's just not true. Jaden O'Neal was a quarterback to where if he needed to move out of the pocket, Jaden O'Neal could be mobile in those situations. So, again, I want you to think more of like a Cam Ward type of quarterback, and that's also the same type of quarterback that Ben Arbuckle coached. So, at the end of the day, got Bo Bentley now in this class. That's who Oklahoma's quarterback is in the 2026 cycle. Jaden O'Neal moving on. So Oklahoma fans, you're looking at what's next. We've been told Oklahoma wants to take 2 quarterbacks in this class. I'm curious to see now what Oklahoma's move is now that Bo Bentley's in the class. Do they go after a guy like a Jackson Fields who got a camp invite and one that we were potentially watching to potentially get an offer from Oklahoma? Does Ben Arbuckle go out there and make another offer to another quarterback here in the 26 cycle, or did the transfer portal kind of fix the issue with needing to take 2 quarterbacks? Only time's going to tell, but Oklahoma now has the 38th ranked class in the entire country with a 168.12 composite score. Bo Bentley is the best commit in Oklahoma's class. It's not even close. Now, the real question is, a lot of people are going to have, hey, is Daniel Odom going to stay committed? Daniel Odom committed after taking a visit this spring, was friends with Jaden O'Neal, played on teams with Jaden O'Neal. So a lot of people presume Daniel Odom is going to decommit. I've heard very conflicting information. I've heard information that, a lot of people say, hey, I still expect Daniel Odom at some point to decommit out of this class. And then I've also heard that, hey, Daniel Odom was super excited about Bo Bentley. He still really wants to be coached by Emmett Jones. And so they still expect Daniel Odom and his commitment to stick for the Oklahoma Sooners. So, again, time's only going to tell there, but I like what Oklahoma's building in that room. Champion Barbecues this weekend. Bo Bentley is back on campus. So you're going to get your quarterback that's currently committed in the class to kind of help you round out in a really strong weekend. So a lot of news for Oklahoma. A lot of stuff's going to be coming down the pipeline. You guys aren't going to want to miss it. So make sure you hit that like, hit the subscribe button so you're not missing any of it, and jump in the comments below and let me know what you guys think. Over or under 4.5 commits for the Champion Barbecue.